All right, so it's asking us to make a new document. I'm always going to title it the name of the assignment as well as my name, Hardy. Now it wants us to have a 600 by 600 pixels. And that's something that we don't really do very often. So in your unit of measurements here, you're going to pick that first one. And you want 600 and 600. And I'm going to push OK. All right, so now we've got our square here. And the next, it wants us to create a background. So I'm going to use my rectangle tool. And I'm just going to create a box over my artboard. You don't really need a stroke, so I'm going to take that away. And it wants us to make a certain type of blue color. So again, I'm going to double click on here, and then these will show up for you. So for red, it wants us to change to 182. For green, it wants 235. And then finally blue, 230 and then 9. Okay. I'm going to push OK. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to my layers panel. I am going to double click and we're going to title this background. And then we're going to lock it. We don't want it shifting while we're creating other shapes. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new layer on top, right? And then we are going to call this one character. All righty. So next in our character layer, I'm going to make sure that's highlighted. It wants us to create the body shop. So it wants us to go to our ellipse tool, L. Now instead of clicking and dragging like we usually do, instead we're just going to click and let go. And then this box will show up. It wants us to enter a width of 290 pixels and the height by 240. And then I'm going to press OK. Put this in the center here. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I'm going to take away my stroke, making sure that my fill is white. So next what we're going to do, we're going to use the direct select tool, the white arrow, which is A on your keyboard here. I'm going to select this top anchor point here. Notice how my other ones are filled with white. This is filled with red. And it wants us to drag it up approximately 80 inches, 80 pixels. And I'm holding down Shift. What I'm looking for is negative 80 up. And it's going to be really hard to get it exact. So our shapes might look a little bit different, and that is absolutely okay. We're just trying to follow the directions as best as possible. All right, so we got that going here. So now it's like an egg shape. And then it wants us to take one of the sides. So I'm going to go with this one. And it wants us to drag about approximately 10 pixels over. So we're going to say that's good. Alrighty, so nothing too big. And then let's see here. What do we have? Now we need to make it symmetrical. So what we're going to do, because this side, I mean, we could try to make it symmetrical by pulling on this one. However, it wouldn't be that accurate. So instead, we're going to use our Pathfinders panel to cut this guy in half. And I'm going to make this one a different color so you can kind of see it a little bit better. This is where your guides really come in handy, right? So I want to intersect the middle. There, perfect. Okay, so in our Pathfinders, right, I have the rectangle on top because I want that to be cut away from this. So I'm going to select both of them, making sure that my rectangle is front, and I'm going to hit subtract. Okay, so now we have 1/2. Now in order to make it symmetrical, I'm going to go Control C, copy, and then Control V for paste. What I need to do next is I need to flip this over, mirror this, right? So make sure that's highlighted. Going up to Object, Transform, and then Reflect. Perfect. Now I'm going to just put those two together. I'm going to select both of them. And then in my pathfinders, I'm going to unite the shapes. So now it is just one. All right.